Caitlin Clark is coming.
The foul, not gonna get it. Caitlin Clark. Oh, what a slick pass.
We gon' miss some moves tonight. You stand
Got Clark again.
stand up.
She should have been on Team USA.
Caitlin Clark is ready for the NBA. That's right, because after watching her assault WNBA legends, there's no doubt in my mind she can compete with any basketball player in the world. The other night, Clark secured a win over Diana Taurasi and the Mercury.
Here is Clark off the screen, launches, and drops a triple.
Where we got to see a thrilling matchup between the league's past and future stars. If there's anything we can take away from that matchup, it's that the league is in great hands. After the Olympic break, everyone was eager to see the matchup between the Mercury, whose lineup consists of 3 gold medalists, and the Indiana Fever, the team of Caitlin Clark, who was a controversial snub of the Olympic lineup this year. Right off the rip, Caitlin was showing that she can have an impact.
Finds some space and delivers. It's a triple for Caitlin Clark.
On par or even greater than any of the women on that Olympic team. Facilitating the offense, she showed that she can lead a successful team even as a rookie, but the statement piece was really when she took the possessions into her own hands. Clark was playing amazing in her matchup against Kalia Copper, who had just won the gold medal for the Olympic team.
But this was one of the stars of the game. Kalia Copper earned every bit of this medal.
And it was possessions like this where she really seemed to be sending a message.
Shot now on a back-to-back here tonight. This is really physically demanding.
So it is extremely difficult. Just one, not only physically, but also mentally staying in it.
Before we move on, make sure to hit that like button and drop a sub so we can keep bringing you videos like this. Now let's get back into it. While Copper and Clark were going back and forth on the offensive possessions, Caitlin's playmaking in this game is what really gave the Fever the edge in the matchup.
This time it's Smith with a foul and an and one.
In fact, Caitlin Clark actually currently ranks #1 amongst every player in the league in assists per game, and that's huge. See, as a rookie, it's not very often that you see players average so many assists. But why is that? Well, if we really get down to how Caitlin pulls in these assists, you can see how respected that her shot is, even as a rookie. During this possession, you can see how the Mercury's offense crumbles around the double team that's been forced on Clark. Immediately, in transition, you can see several defenders closing in, which in result leads to a 6-1 Sophie Cunningham all alone in the paint. While the Fever had a great first half, no game is ever sealed against the star-riddled lineup of the Mercury. They came out in the third quarter on a hot run, turning what was previously a 20-point lead into a suddenly close game. And what Caitlin proceeded to do for the team is what really made the performance historic.
Clark step back on a deep 2. Oh, gets the shooter's touch.
With only 40 seconds left in the third, you could see the moment a switch flipped inside of Caitlin Clark. As previously mentioned, she's very skilled as a playmaker, but at the end of the day, there's no one on the team she can trust more than herself. You can see the mindset she has running into the possession. If she wants to create her own bucket, she's gonna get her own bucket. The very next possession, she has the opponents in a chokehold as she runs down the court. You can see the defenders begin to swarm Clark, as there is absolutely no doubting that shot when you're talking about her. It was the choice she made to pass up this shot that really shows you what type of player she is. Katie Lou beat the buzzer, and that extended the Fever's lead going into the fourth.
Who buries a 3? Samuelson beats the buzzer.
The Fever then went on to have a great fourth quarter where Caitlin Clark continued being Caitlin Clark, leading the Fever to victory. So, what was it that made this performance so special? Well, Caitlin Clark finished the game with 29 points, 10 assists, and 5 rebounds, which is undoubtedly a remarkable stat line. But if we've learned anything from this game, it's that we might be watching not only one of the greatest rookies of all time, but one of the greatest players to ever have touched a basketball. Watching Caitlin compete against this star-riddled lineup, you may have forgotten that she's only 22 years old. What's the future gonna look like then? The The star power from Caitlin Clark and Kelsey Mitchell this game solidified them as undoubtedly one of the most dangerous duos in the coming years. But if Caitlin Clark somehow leads the previously 13-27 Fever to the playoffs this year, we might see one of the most dangerous teams in basketball as Clark and the young core evolve. If you've made it this far in the video, be sure to subscribe and tell me in the comments, who do you think is winning the WNBA championship this year? And with that said, only time will tell the future for Caitlin Clark as the regular season comes to a close. But hey, if there's anyone you want to count on going forward, Caitlin Clark is a safe bet. As always, keep ballin' and peace out.